Okay, I just want to introduce what is behind the curtain. It's going to be a short excerpt from a play by Mark Halloran. It is very much of this parish in terms of the actor, the writer, the production company. Mark Halloran himself is a native of Clare. John O'Dowd, the actor, is a native of Boyle and Roscommon, and he represents True West Productions, which is located here in Galway. I would say there isn't really very much else for me to say, but that this is an excerpt, and I'd like to show your appreciation with a round of applause. With curtains, please.
My arrival in hospital this last time was some hoopla. Not like before, when I was just a gnome left on a trolley with a few broken fingers and a bit of concussion. Maybe left in overnight for observations. Whose observations? I wasn't ever asked for mine. This hospital is a shithole, and there's an epidemic waiting to happen. I'd have said if I'd been asked, but I never was. This time it was different. I was head boy, top of the class. I parted the people at casualty like Moses at the Red Sea. And people gasped and screamed, blessed themselves. One junior doctor, when presented with me, turned white, got sick of my lap and passed out. There was no two ways about it. I was a Class A fucking star specimen. Did I tell you what was wrong with me? No. Well, you see, my wife had stabbed me through the top of the head with an 8.5-inch stainless steel carving knife with a beautiful ornate wooden handle which now protruded through a hole in the top of my cranium. The knife had been my Christmas present to her. I'd gotten it from a catalogue. I think that's what hurt the most. Emotionally, I mean. Obviously, getting stabbed in the head hurts like fuck. But emotionally, I mean. To have used her Christmas present to me as a weapon against me, I just thought it was rather thoughtless is all. And I shudder to think what would have happened if she bought me a cardigan. But as could be seen, I've made a full recovery. I've always been lucky, I guess. As for herself, don't think the worst of her. I drove her to it. She didn't have much choice. We've always brought out the wilder side in each other, I suppose. Maybe we should never have stood together, I don't know. It's all academic now anyways. Mary, Mary. Boys, oh boys, there's some temper she has. I spotted her ages before we started going out and christened her Mary Motorhead because she was so mad. The name kind of stuck around the town and that's what everyone calls her now. We met in our late teens, 19 or something. Oh, she was a fine looking thing back then. Strong and fiery. And although I'm no Quasimodo here, I thought that I was getting the best of the bargain. That she was settling for less. That annoyed the shit out of me for years. It drove me mad. We had what you'd call a long courtship. I don't know when we started going out. We kind of fell into it. Talked about nothing. Years of weekends in lounge bars and fairgrounds. Always harbouring the thought that maybe this wasn't right for either of us, but we just kept going. Occasionally Mary Motorhead would start raging and roaring and would peg a huge rock at me or something. But I always managed to get out of the way. I should have read the warning signs, I suppose. We even tried splitting up once. A ferocious row outside a chipper, during which she called me a useless 5-foot stack of shite and stormed off. We didn't see each other for 2 weeks. I kind of fell apart a bit. I felt a black nothing inside me. There wasn't anything new or beautiful. I stopped eating. Terrified everyone in town by driving me Cortina too fast. She apparently was the same. Like living with a briar, her mother had said. She stopped washing. Nearly lost her arm to a machine at work. There just didn't seem any reason for anything. And it was obvious to everyone that no matter how bad we were together, we were worse apart. So I spotted her the following weekend at the dance. And I looked over. They were playing Do You Think I'm Sexy by Rod Stewart. So I wiggled my arse over at her. She broke her shite laughing, and that was that. We were married by the end of the summer. I guess that's how I asked her. I wiggled my arse at her. Because neither of us popped the question or anything, we just presumed. Well, the wedding was a disaster from start to finish. It had been the wettest summer on record, and our photos looked like shots from the trenches. Mud to our armpits. It was a small do. About 30 people. Aunts and uncles that neither of us knew, and a few close friends. And then later, for the afters crowd, there was a band called Country Fever. But by that stage, myself and Mary Motorhead were so legless we couldn't have cared what they were called. And then the fights broke out. And the guards were called. Not the right way to start. We woke up in our room the following morning, and the place was in tatters. Everything was spilt or broken. And there was an empty wheelchair over there in the corner, and to this day neither of us know where it came from. Apparently we had thrown most of our clothes out the window into the garden below, and the hotel crowd had picked them up and put them into a bag for us. And when the owner was handing it over, when we were leaving, she just looks her nose down at us and says, "You're nothing but tinkers." Tinkers. It's not the way good things start. Oh, but we did it for good times. Oh, Lord Jesus, we did. Our pre-marriage course was a case in point. A weekend retreat with 9 other couples in Taibhdhearc. Now, I'm not being mean here, but Taibhdhearc. If gay was an Olympic sport, he'd win gold for Ireland. Bent as a hook. And here he was trying to teach 10 couples who'd been riding each other for years on the sly anyways, how to have sex. Oh, Mary was priceless that weekend. Drinking and singing and cursing. Taking the piss. Saying the word vulva every chance that she had in front of the poor little priesty. So he didn't stand a chance. And I think we still get a Christmas card every year from one of the other couples. Happy Christmas from Pat and Nancy or something like that. I wonder has either of them stabbed the other. So we settled into a small flat near the post office field. got on with our lives. Mary had her job in the factory until it closed. And I did odd jobs. To tell the truth, I sat in the arse and watched the telly. See, these now were the golden years of mass unemployment, when daytime television was top notch, Oprah was in her prime, and the future was certain. Shite, certain. We go to the local about 4 nights a week, and on special occasions. I played pool with the lads, and Mary sat at the bar like the queen of the silver dollar. Took the living piss out of everyone in town. We go to the cinema about once a fortnight, depending. Adventure stuff and anything with himself in it. Mary was never one for the films, really. She'd get bored easy and often slept right through them. Just to spite me, I reckon. Well, that'll become our favourite pastime. Spiting each other. So the more I loved something, the more Mary decided she hated it, and vice versa. Pushing each other into frenzies, loving and loathing. It appeared we were beginning to define ourselves in opposition to each other. So the more I loved films, the more she hated. The more I hated Gay Byrne, the more she thought the sun shone out of his arse. And the more time she spent reading books, the more I realised we're near enough the root of all evil. I never really got the hang of it. Reading. I never really took to it that easy, I suppose. At school, there was always some little Christian brother just hanging over my shoulder, waiting for me to be stupid, so he could lay it. Consequently, books have always given me the heebies. Just the size and feel, just holding one. I'm immediately back in that little classroom with the old smell of dry rot. And I don't know what else. Books have always been used by people to make me feel bad about myself. Or that I don't belong. And I explains all of that to her. And the next thing is, she's reading for Ireland. Rubbing me nose in it. Watching Folio on the telly, which without doubt was the most boring programme that RT has ever made. But that's some claim to fame. As the years go by, it gets worse. Books everywhere. I'm sick of it. Oh, but the worst of the lot, the one that really gets me going, is James Joyce. Oh, you'd swear he invented a cure for TB or something, the way that some people go on about. And they have Joyce days and Joyce cafes, museums, recitals and parades. They've even gone the world's largest car ferry after him. Car ferry. The Ulysses. Twice daily between Dublin and Holyhead. Rather apt when you think about it, really. Seeing as the only thing that he ever did for his country was leave it. No sign of him in the GPO in 1916. Oh Lord Jesus, no. Too busy sitting on his hole in Italy, tanked up, living off handouts and writing dirty books about his wife's arse. Or try saying that out loud. Board Fawcett to be lynched. I'm sure no one's read the damn thing anyway. Oh, apart from your man in Dublin, David Norris. I'm sure that's the reason why he's a celebrity. No, I don't read. can't be bothered. So when people come around saying, "Oh, have you read such and such? It's fabulous." "No," I says. "I'm waiting for the movie." Old books. Old dry rot. And so, time ambled on. Both of us beginning to grate on each other. Spending our time either going to the local or sitting at home. Her reading her book. Me watching the telly with the sound really loud just so as to put her off. Or else me at the cinema. On my own mostly, since she discovered literature. And then one weekend arrived. And changed my life forever. The greatest film ever made, starring the world's greatest actor. The Hunt for Red October.